Marcus Aurelius once said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." These words weren't just a poetic reflection, they were a call to action, a reminder to approach each day with purpose and clarity. But how often do we actually do that? How often do our mornings feel rushed, reactive, or even chaotic? What if there was a way to reclaim that precious time, to start your day not just with coffee, but with intention, focus, and calm? That's where the ancient Stoics come in. Their practices, born thousands of years ago, offer timeless wisdom for crafting a morning routine that doesn't just prepare you for the day, it prepares you for life. In this video, we'll explore how to design a morning ritual inspired by Stoic principles, one that builds mindfulness, resilience, and self-discipline. Whether you're looking to reduce stress, boost productivity, or simply find more meaning in your mornings, this is your guide to transforming the way you start your day. How often do you take time to reflect before the chaos of the day begins? For the Stoics, this quiet moment of self-awareness wasn't just a luxury, it was a necessity. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, believed that mornings were sacred, a time to prepare not just for the tasks ahead, but for the challenges of life itself. He wrote, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life." What he meant was this: every morning is a fresh start, a chance to align your actions with your values and to face the day with clarity rather than confusion. So, what does this look like in practice? Imagine waking up and instead of immediately reaching for your phone or rushing into your to-do list, you take just a few minutes to sit quietly. You might ask yourself, what do I want to achieve today? How can I act with purpose and integrity regardless of what comes my way? This simple act of reflection can ground you, helping you approach the day with intention rather than reactivity. One way to incorporate this into your routine is through journaling. Write down your goals for the day, but also reflect on the kind of person you want to be. Are there habits you're trying to build, challenges you're preparing to face? By putting these thoughts on paper, you create a roadmap for your day, one that keeps you focused on what truly matters. Meditation is another powerful tool. Just a few minutes of stillness can help you center your mind and set the tone for a calm, purposeful day. Now, take a moment to think about your own mornings. What would it feel like to start your day with this kind of clarity? What small change could you make today to bring more intention into your routine? The beauty of this practice is that it doesn't require hours. Just a few moments of reflection can transform the way you approach the rest of your day. The morning is your first opportunity to practice presence. It's a chance to step into the day with your full attention, to engage with the world as it is, not as you wish it to be. The Stoics understood this deeply. They believed that the present moment is all we truly have. Yesterday is gone, and tomorrow is uncertain. As Epictetus wisely put it, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. What he's saying here is profound. The morning isn't just about starting your day. It's about training yourself to meet life on its terms with focus and resilience. So, how do we embrace this idea of presence in our morning routine? It starts by letting go of distractions. Think about it. How often do you check your phone or scroll through emails before you've even had a chance to fully wake up? These habits pull us out of the present, fragmenting our attention before the day has even begun. Instead, try starting your day with a simple mindful breathing exercise. Sit quietly for a few moments, close your eyes and focus on your breath. Feel the air entering and leaving your body. This isn't just about relaxation, it's about anchoring yourself in the here and now, training your mind to stay present. Another powerful practice is gratitude. Take a moment to reflect on one thing you're grateful for. It could be something as small as the warmth of your coffee or as profound as the people in your life. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's already here, grounding you in the present and setting a positive tone for the day. Now, consider this. What's one distraction you could eliminate from your morning routine? Maybe it's leaving your phone in another room or resisting the urge to dive into work emails right away. By removing these interruptions, you create space for presence, allowing yourself to start the day with clarity and calm. The Stoics didn't just preach this idea, they lived it, and so can you. Imagine how different your day might feel if you began it fully present, ready to meet whatever comes your way with intention and focus. How can you prepare for the inevitable obstacles of the day? The Stoics had a powerful practice for this called Premeditatio Malorum, literally, the premeditation of evils. At its core, this isn't about pessimism or dwelling on the negative. It's about preparing your mind to face challenges with strength and clarity. Marcus Aurelius put it this way: the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, obstacles aren't just roadblocks, they're opportunities to grow, to adapt, and to become more resilient. So, how can you apply this ancient wisdom to your morning routine? Start by taking a few moments to visualize the day ahead. What potential challenges might arise? Maybe it's a tough conversation at work, a looming deadline, or even just the stress of a packed schedule. Instead of dreading these moments, use them as mental training. Ask yourself, how can I respond to this challenge with calm and focus? What's the best version of myself in this situation? By anticipating difficulties, you're not avoiding them, you're preparing to meet them head-on. One practical way to do this is by writing down your potential challenges and your planned responses. For example, if you know you have a difficult meeting, jot down a few key points or affirmations to keep you grounded. Or if you're facing a busy day, remind yourself to pause and breathe when things feel overwhelming. This kind of mental rehearsal helps you stay composed even when the unexpected happens. Now take a moment to reflect. What's one challenge you're currently facing? How might you approach it differently if you viewed it as an opportunity to build resilience? The Stoics believed that adversity is a teacher, and by embracing that mindset, you can transform even the toughest moments into stepping stones for growth. Imagine starting your day not just ready to face challenges, but ready to learn from them. That's the power of Premeditatio Malorum. It's not just a practice, it's a way of life. Gratitude is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. How can it shape your mornings? For the Stoics, gratitude wasn't just an occasional feeling. It was a daily practice, a way of training the mind to focus on what's already present rather than what's missing. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic thinkers, put it simply: he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. This isn't about ignoring life's challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing the good that exists even in the midst of difficulty, and letting that recognition anchor you in a sense of abundance rather than lack. So, how can you bring this practice into your morning routine? One powerful way is to start your day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. These don't have to be grand or life-changing. They can be as simple as the warmth of your bed, the sound of birds outside your window, or the fact that you woke up with a clear mind. The act of writing them down or even just thinking about them shifts your focus from what's going wrong to what's going right. It's a small but profound way to set a positive tone for the day ahead. Take a moment now to reflect. What do you often take for granted? Is it your health, your relationships, or even the quiet moments you have to yourself? When we pause to appreciate these things, we start to see how much we already have, and that perspective can be incredibly grounding. Gratitude doesn't just make us feel good, it helps us build resilience, reminding us of the resources and strengths we already possess. Imagine starting your day not with a sense of scarcity or stress, but with a deep appreciation for the life you're living. How might that shift your mindset as you move through your tasks and challenges? The Stoics believed that gratitude was a form of wisdom, a way to align ourselves with reality and find peace in the present moment. By weaving this practice into your mornings, you're not just preparing for the day, you're cultivating a mindset that can carry you through life with greater ease and joy. What kind of person do you want to be today? This isn't just a question, it's a call to action, a way to shape your day with purpose and meaning. For the Stoics, every action was an opportunity to practice virtue, to align their behavior with principles like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. Marcus Aurelius put it beautifully when he said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be one." His words remind us that intentions aren't just abstract ideas. They're the foundation of how we live, how we respond to challenges, and how we treat others. So, how can you use this Stoic wisdom to set intentions for your day? Start by asking yourself, what virtue do I want to embody today? Maybe it's wisdom, approaching a difficult decision with clarity and thoughtfulness. Or perhaps it's courage, facing a fear or stepping outside your comfort zone. By choosing one virtue to focus on, you give your day direction and purpose. It's not about being perfect, it's about making progress, about striving to be the best version of yourself in each moment. One practical way to do this is by writing down your intention each morning. Keep it simple, a single sentence like today, "I will act with patience," or "I will approach challenges with resilience." This small act of commitment helps you stay focused, even when distractions or difficulties arise. It's a way of anchoring yourself in your values, ensuring that your actions align with who you want to be. Think about this for a moment. How do the intentions you set each morning connect to your long-term goals? Are you building habits that align with the person you're striving to become? The Stoics believed that life is a series of choices, and each choice is a chance to reinforce your character. By setting clear intentions rooted in virtue, you're not just preparing for the day, you're shaping your future, one decision at a time. Imagine starting your day with this level of clarity, knowing exactly what kind of person you want to be and how you plan to show up in the world. It's a powerful way to live, one that turns ordinary moments into opportunities for growth and transformation. The Stoics didn't just talk about these ideas, they lived them, and so can you. What intention will you set today? Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. How can you build it? For the Stoics, discipline wasn't about restriction or punishment. It was a pathway to true freedom. Epictetus, who spent much of his life as a slave, understood this better than anyone. He famously said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." What he meant was this: without self-discipline, we're at the mercy of our impulses, our distractions, and our circumstances. But with it, we gain the power to shape our lives according to our values, not our whims. So, what does this look like in the context of a morning routine? It starts with consistency. Think of discipline as a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. One of the simplest yet most powerful ways to build this muscle is by committing to waking up at the same time every day. It's not just about getting out of bed, it's about setting a tone of commitment and control from the very first moment of your day. When you choose to rise early, even when it's hard, you're sending yourself a message that you value your time, your goals, and your growth. But discipline doesn't have to feel rigid or oppressive. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Maybe you start small, setting your alarm just 10 minutes earlier than usual, or resisting the urge to hit snooze. Over time, these small acts of self-control add up, creating a foundation of strength and reliability. And here's the beautiful part: as your discipline grows, so does your sense of freedom. You'll find that you're no longer ruled by procrastination or distraction, but instead you're able to focus on what truly matters. Now, take a moment to reflect. Where in your life could you use a little more discipline? Is it in your mornings, your habits, or perhaps even your mindset? The Stoics believed that self-discipline was the key to living a virtuous and fulfilling life. By cultivating it, you're not just improving your mornings, you're building a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. Imagine the sense of accomplishment you'll feel when you look back and see how far you've come, one disciplined choice at a time. How much of your morning is spent worrying about things you can't control? The irony is, we often start our days with a mental list of all the things that could go wrong: traffic, deadlines, conflicts, even the weather. But the Stoics had a radically different approach. They believed that true peace comes not from controlling the external world, but from mastering our internal responses to it. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." His words remind us that much of our stress comes from overthinking what might happen, rather than focusing on what we can actually do. This idea is at the heart of Stoic detachment, a practice that doesn't mean indifference or apathy, but rather a profound focus on effort and virtue. It's about recognizing that while we can't always control outcomes, we can always control how we show up. Think of it this way: you can't guarantee that every email you send will be well received, but you can control the thoughtfulness and integrity you put into crafting it. You can't dictate how others will respond to you, but you can choose to act with kindness and respect regardless of their reaction. So, how can you apply this principle to your morning routine? Start by shifting your focus from results to effort. For example, instead of worrying about whether your workout will lead to immediate results, focus on the act of moving your body and the discipline it takes to show up. Instead of stressing about a presentation, concentrate on the preparation, the clarity of your thoughts, and the effort you're putting into communicating effectively. By detaching from the outcome, you free yourself from unnecessary anxiety and open up space to fully engage in the process. Consider this: what's one thing in your morning routine that you tend to overthink or stress about? What would it feel like to let go of that concern and focus instead on what's within your control? The Stoics believed that this kind of detachment wasn't just a way to reduce stress, it was a path to freedom, a way to live with greater ease and purpose. Imagine starting your day not with worry, but with a sense of calm determination, knowing that whatever happens, you've done your best. That's the power of focusing on effort over outcomes. It's not just a practice, it's a mindset that can transform your mornings and your life. Writing is a way to untangle your thoughts. How can it help your mornings? For the Stoics, journaling wasn't just a habit, it was a daily practice of self-examination and mental clarity. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, kept a personal journal known as Meditations, which was never meant to be published. It was his private space to reflect, to wrestle with his thoughts, and to remind himself of his values. He wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." What he meant was this: what we focus on shapes who we are, and journaling is a way to consciously choose what we fill our minds with. So, how can you use journaling to bring this kind of clarity to your mornings? Start by setting aside just 5 minutes to write. It doesn't have to be poetic or profound, just honest. You might begin by jotting down your thoughts as they come to you, like a stream of consciousness. Are you feeling anxious about something? Write it down. Are you excited about a project or a goal? Capture that too. The act of putting your thoughts on paper helps you step back and see them more clearly, like untangling a knot. One practical approach is to use journaling as a tool for problem solving. Let's say you're facing a difficult decision. Start by writing down the pros and cons, but also explore how each option aligns with your values. What feels most like the person you want to be? This kind of reflection can help you see the situation from a new perspective, making it easier to choose a path forward. Another powerful technique is to write out your goals for the day, but also include how you want to approach them. For example, instead of just listing "finish the report," you might add, "I will approach this task with focus and patience." Now take a moment to reflect. How could journaling help you gain clarity in your own life? What's one thing you're currently struggling with that you could explore on paper? The beauty of this practice is that it's entirely personal. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Whether you're writing a single sentence or filling pages, the act of putting pen to paper helps you slow down, reflect, and start your day with intention. Marcus Aurelius didn't just write to fill pages. He wrote to understand himself, to grow, and to stay grounded in his values. By incorporating journaling into your mornings, you're not just organizing your thoughts, you're creating a space for self-discovery and growth. Imagine starting your day with this kind of clarity, knowing exactly where you stand and where you're headed. It's a simple practice, but one that can transform not just your mornings, but your entire approach to life. Mindfulness isn't just for meditation. How can you bring it to your morning routine? The Stoics understood the profound value of being fully present, even in the simplest of tasks. Seneca once wrote, "Whatever you do, do it with all your mind." This wasn't just a call to focus, it was a reminder to find meaning in the mundane, to treat every action as an opportunity to connect with the present moment. Imagine starting your day not just going through the motions, but truly experiencing each small act, whether it's brushing your teeth, making your bed, or sipping your morning tea. These moments, when approached with intention, can become anchors of calm and clarity in an otherwise busy day. So, how do you turn everyday activities into mindful practices? Let's take something as simple as drinking tea or coffee. Instead of rushing through it while scrolling through your phone, try this. Hold the cup in your hands and feel its warmth. Notice the aroma as you bring it to your lips. Take a slow sip, letting the flavor linger on your tongue. This isn't just about savoring your drink, it's about training your mind to stay present, to fully engage with the here and now. Even something as routine as brushing your teeth can become a moment of mindfulness if you focus on the sensations, the taste of the toothpaste, the movement of the brush, the feeling of cleanliness. These small acts of attention can transform ordinary moments into opportunities for presence and peace. Now, think about your own morning routine. Which activity do you usually rush through without much thought? Could you slow down and bring more awareness to it? The Stoics believed that every action, no matter how small, was a chance to practice mindfulness and align yourself with the present. By doing so, you're not just completing tasks, you're cultivating a mindset of attentiveness that can carry through the rest of your day. Imagine how different your mornings might feel if you approached them with this level of presence, finding calm and meaning in the smallest of moments. What deserves your attention first thing in the day? For the Stoics, this wasn't just a question, it was a guiding principle, a way to cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters. Epictetus, one of the most practical Stoic philosophers, put it this way: first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. What he's saying here is profound. Before you dive into the chaos of the day, take a moment to reflect on who you want to be and what actions align with that vision. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing the right things. So how do you apply this to your morning routine? Start by creating a short list of your top priorities for the day. These shouldn't be random tasks or urgent demands. They should be the things that align with your values and long-term goals. Maybe it's spending quality time with your family, working on a meaningful project, or taking care of your health. The key is to be intentional, to choose what matters most and let the rest fall away. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress, about making sure your energy goes toward what truly moves the needle in your life. One practical way to do this is by asking yourself, if I could only accomplish one thing today, what would it be? That single focus becomes your anchor, the thing you return to when distractions creep in. It's not about ignoring other responsibilities, but about ensuring that your most important priorities don't get lost in the shuffle. Think of it as a mental filter, a way to separate what's essential from what's simply urgent. Now take a moment to reflect. What do you often prioritize that doesn't actually align with your values or goals? Is it checking emails, scrolling through social media, or rushing through tasks without purpose? The Stoics believed that clarity comes from knowing what to ignore as much as what to focus on. By aligning your mornings with what truly matters, you're not just setting the tone for the day, you're shaping the kind of life you want to live. Imagine how much more meaningful your days could be if you started them with this kind of intentional focus. That's the power of prioritization. It's not just a practice, it's a way of reclaiming your time and energy for what matters most. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. How can it transform your mornings? The Stoics understood that a cluttered life leads to a cluttered mind. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This isn't just a poetic sentiment, it's a practical guide for reducing stress and increasing focus. By embracing simplicity, you create space, not just in your schedule, but in your mind, to focus on what truly matters. So, what does simplicity look like in the context of a morning routine? It starts by asking yourself, what's essential? Think about your mornings now. How many tasks or habits do you cram in simply because you feel like you should? Maybe it's checking emails, scrolling through news feeds, or trying to squeeze in a workout, breakfast, and meditation all at once. The truth is, not everything needs to be done first thing in the morning. The Stoics believed in doing fewer things, but doing them well. It's about quality over quantity, about choosing what aligns with your values and letting go of the rest. One practical way to simplify is by eliminating unnecessary distractions. For example, instead of waking up to a barrage of notifications, try leaving your phone in another room. Or instead of trying to multitask, focus on one activity at a time, whether it's journaling, exercising, or enjoying a quiet cup of tea. By reducing the noise, you give yourself the gift of presence, allowing your mind to settle and your focus to sharpen. Now take a moment to reflect. What's one thing you could remove from your morning routine to make it simpler? Is it a habit that doesn't serve you, or a task that could wait until later in the day? The beauty of simplicity is that it's deeply personal. It's about creating a routine that feels calm and intentional, not rushed or overwhelming. Imagine starting your day with this kind of clarity, knowing exactly what matters and letting the rest go. That's the power of simplicity. It's not just a practice, it's a mindset that can transform your mornings and your life. In the silence of the morning, what do you hear within yourself? For the Stoics, silence wasn't just the absence of noise. It was a space for connection, a chance to tune into your inner world. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, once wrote, "The time you spend in silence is the time you spend with yourself." He wasn't talking about isolation or withdrawal. He was pointing to the profound power of stillness. In a world that's constantly buzzing with distractions, silence offers a rare opportunity to pause, to reflect, and to reconnect with what truly matters. So, how can you bring this ancient practice into your modern mornings? Start by carving out just 5 minutes of silence before you begin your day. This isn't about meditating or filling the time with structured activity. It's simply about being still. Sit quietly, close your eyes if it helps, and let your mind settle. You might notice thoughts drifting in and out, and that's okay. The goal isn't to empty your mind, but to create a space where you can observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them. Over time, this practice can help you find a sense of calm and clarity, grounding you before the demands of the day take over. Imagine starting your day not with noise but with this kind of quiet presence. What would it feel like to greet the morning with stillness instead of urgency? The Stoics believed that silence was a form of wisdom, a way to step back from the chaos and reconnect with your core values. By incorporating this practice into your routine, you're not just adding another task, you're creating a foundation of peace that can carry you through even the busiest days. Now take a moment to reflect. How could silence help you find clarity in your own life? What might you discover if you gave yourself the gift of stillness, even for just a few minutes each morning? The beauty of this practice is that it's accessible to everyone. No special skills or tools are required. All you need is a willingness to pause, to listen, and to reconnect with yourself. In a world that never stops talking, silence might just be the most powerful way to hear what really matters. How do you speak to yourself in the morning, with kindness or criticism? For many of us, the first thoughts of the day are filled with judgment, doubt, or even harsh self-criticism. But the Stoics, surprisingly, had a different approach. While they are often associated with toughness and discipline, they also deeply valued self-compassion. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself, but not too strict." He understood that treating ourselves with gentleness isn't a sign of weakness, it's a foundation for resilience. After all, how can you face the challenges of the day if you're already at war with yourself? So, what does self-compassion look like in practice? It begins with the way you talk to yourself. Instead of waking up and immediately focusing on what you didn't do yesterday or what you need to fix today, try starting with a simple affirmation. Something like, "Today I will do my best and that's enough," or "I am worthy of kindness, especially from myself." These small shifts in language can have a profound impact on your mindset, helping you approach the day with a sense of calm rather than criticism. The Stoics believed that self-compassion wasn't about letting yourself off the hook, it was about recognizing your humanity. Everyone makes mistakes, faces setbacks, and feels overwhelmed at times. The key is to meet those moments with understanding, not judgment. Think of it this way: if a friend came to you feeling discouraged, you wouldn't berate them for their struggles. You'd offer support, encouragement, and a reminder that they're doing the best they can. Why not extend that same kindness to yourself? One practical way to build this habit is by incorporating a moment of self-compassion into your morning routine. After you wake up, take a few deep breaths and ask yourself, what do I need right now to feel grounded and ready for the day? Maybe it's a moment of stillness, a kind word to yourself, or even just the acknowledgement that today doesn't have to be perfect. By starting your day with this gentle approach, you're not just being kind, you're building the emotional resilience you'll need to handle whatever comes your way. Now take a moment to reflect. How would your mornings feel if you approached them with more self-compassion? What's one small way you could show yourself kindness today? The Stoics didn't just preach this idea, they lived it, understanding that true strength comes from balancing discipline with gentleness. Imagine starting your day not with criticism, but with a quiet sense of acceptance and care. It's a simple shift, but one that can transform not just your mornings, but your entire outlook on life. What virtues do you want to embody today? This question isn't just a prompt, it's a compass guiding you toward a life of purpose and meaning. For the Stoics, virtue wasn't an abstract ideal, it was the very foundation of a well-lived life. Seneca once wrote, "Virtue is nothing else than right reason." What he meant was this: living virtuously isn't about following rigid rules or striving for perfection. It's about aligning your actions with reason, with wisdom, and with the values that matter most to you. Every morning you have the chance to ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today, and how can I act in a way that reflects that vision? The Stoics identified 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. These weren't just lofty concepts, they were practical tools for navigating life's challenges. Wisdom helps you make thoughtful decisions. Courage gives you the strength to face difficulties. Justice reminds you to treat others with fairness and kindness, and self-discipline empowers you to stay focused on what truly matters. Each day, you can choose one of these virtues to guide your actions, turning your morning routine into a practice of intentional living. Here's a simple way to put this into practice. As you start your day, pick one virtue to focus on. For example, if you choose courage, ask yourself, what's one thing I've been avoiding that I can confront today? It might be a difficult conversation, a personal fear, or even just stepping outside your comfort zone. Or if you choose justice, consider how you can show kindness or fairness to those around you. Maybe it's offering support to a colleague or listening deeply to a loved one. By anchoring your day in a specific virtue, you create a framework for living with purpose and integrity. Now, take a moment to reflect. What values do you hold most dear? How might your mornings feel different if you began them by asking, what virtue do I want to embody today? The Stoics believed that every action, no matter how small, is an opportunity to practice virtue. It's not about grand gestures or dramatic changes. It's about the quiet, consistent choices that shape who you are. Imagine starting your day with this kind of clarity, knowing exactly how you want to show up in the world. That's the power of aligning your actions with virtue. It's not just a practice, it's a way of living that transforms not only your mornings, but your entire life. How can your morning routine help you become the best version of yourself? For the Stoics, life wasn't about standing still. It was about constant progress, about striving to grow and improve each day. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, put it this way: no great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. What he's saying here is profound. Growth takes time, patience, and intention. It's not about overnight transformation, but about small, consistent steps that lead to lasting change. So, how can you design a morning routine that fosters this kind of growth? Start by asking yourself, what do I want to learn, improve, or develop? Maybe it's a skill you've been wanting to master, a habit you're trying to build, or even a deeper understanding of yourself. The key is to approach your mornings with a mindset of curiosity and openness, treating each day as an opportunity to move closer to your goals. The Stoics believed that self-improvement wasn't a luxury, it was a duty, a way to honor the potential within yourself and contribute meaningfully to the world. One practical way to do this is by incorporating learning into your morning routine. This doesn't have to mean diving into heavy philosophy or complex textbooks. It could be as simple as reading a few pages of an inspiring book, listening to a thought-provoking podcast, or even journaling about a lesson you've recently learned. The goal is to start your day by feeding your mind with ideas that challenge and inspire you. Over time, these small acts of learning add up, helping you grow not just in knowledge, but in wisdom and perspective. Another powerful approach is to set a daily intention for growth. Before you begin your tasks, take a moment to reflect. What's one thing I can do today to become a better version of myself? It might be practicing patience in a difficult situation, showing kindness to someone who needs it, or simply staying present during a busy day. By focusing on growth in this way, you're not just preparing for the day ahead, you're actively shaping the person you're becoming. Now take a moment to reflect. How does your current morning routine support your growth? Are there small changes you could make to align it more closely with your goals and values? The Stoics believed that every morning was a new beginning, a chance to take one more step toward the person you aspire to be. By designing a routine that prioritizes growth, you're not just starting your day, you're building a life of purpose, one morning at a time. How often do you reach for your phone before you've even fully woken up? For many of us, it's almost automatic, checking notifications, scrolling through emails, or catching up on social media. But here's the thing, every time we do this, we're handing over our mornings to the outside world before we've had a chance to connect with ourselves. The Stoics understood the dangers of distraction long before smartphones existed. Seneca, one of the most insightful Stoic philosophers, warned, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." He wasn't just talking about physical presence, he was pointing to the way distractions fragment our attention, pulling us away from what truly matters. For the Stoics, being free from distractions wasn't just about productivity, it was about reclaiming your inner peace. They believed that true freedom comes from mastering your attention, from choosing where to focus your mind rather than letting it be pulled in 100 directions. Imagine starting your day not with the noise of the digital world, but with a quiet, focused mind. What would it feel like to give yourself that gift? One of the most practical ways to practice this Stoic principle is by delaying your use of technology in the morning. Try setting a rule: no phones, no emails, no screens for the first hour of your day. Instead, use that time to ground yourself in the present moment, whether it's through journaling, meditation, or simply enjoying a quiet cup of coffee. This isn't about rejecting technology altogether. It's about creating a boundary, a space where you can start your day on your own terms. Now, take a moment to reflect. How does technology shape your mornings? Does it bring clarity and focus, or does it pull you into a whirlwind of distractions? The Stoics believed that the quality of your day begins with the quality of your attention. By practicing detachment from technology, even for just an hour, you're not just reclaiming your mornings, you're reclaiming your mind. Imagine how different your days might feel if you started them with this kind of intentional focus, free from the pull of notifications and demands. It's a small change, but one that can transform not just your mornings, but your entire approach to life. Routine can be a source of power. How can you harness it? For the Stoics, consistency wasn't just about efficiency. It was a way to cultivate resilience and inner strength. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. What he's pointing to here is the profound connection between structure and stability. When we build routines, we're not just organizing our time, we're creating a foundation of calm and control, especially in a world that often feels unpredictable. The Stoics believed that routine was a form of self-mastery. By committing to a set of intentional actions each day, you're training your mind to focus on what's within your control, rather than being swept away by external chaos. Think of it like this: when you start your morning with a clear, repeatable structure, you're setting the tone for the rest of your day. You're telling yourself, "I am in charge of how I begin, and that energy will carry me forward." So how do you create a routine that brings this kind of stability? Start small. A morning ritual doesn't have to be elaborate or time-consuming. It just needs to be consistent. For example, you might begin with 5 minutes of stretching, followed by a moment of reflection or journaling. Or perhaps it's a quiet cup of tea while you set your intentions for the day. The key is to choose activities that ground you, that help you feel centered and ready to face whatever comes your way. Over time, these small acts of consistency build into something much larger, a sense of inner strength that carries you through challenges and uncertainties. Now take a moment to reflect. How does routine bring stability to your life? Is it the predictability of your morning coffee, the rhythm of your daily walk, or the quiet time you carve out for yourself before the world wakes up? The Stoics understood that routine isn't just about structure, it's about creating a space where you can reconnect with your values and your sense of purpose. Imagine how different your days might feel if you started them with this kind of intentional grounding, knowing that no matter what happens, you've already taken steps to strengthen your mind and spirit. That's the power of routine. It's not just a habit, it's a practice of resilience and self-trust. What happens when your morning doesn't go as planned? Maybe you overslept, your workout got interrupted, or your quiet moment of reflection turned into a chaotic scramble. It's easy to feel frustrated, to think that the day is ruined before it's even begun. But here's where the Stoics offer a powerful perspective. They didn't just tolerate imperfection, they embraced it. Epictetus, one of the most practical Stoic philosophers, put it this way: some things are in our control and others are not. What he's saying here is that while we can't always control what happens, we can always control how we respond. A missed alarm or a disrupted plan isn't a failure. It's an opportunity to practice adaptability and resilience. Think of it this way: life is unpredictable and no routine is immune to setbacks. The key isn't perfection, it's progress. The Stoics believed that challenges weren't obstacles to avoid, they were opportunities to grow. When your morning doesn't go as planned, it's a chance to practice patience, to adapt, and to find new ways to stay grounded. For example, if you didn't have time for your full journaling session, maybe you can jot down a single thought or intention. If your workout is cut short, perhaps you focus on just a few minutes of stretching or deep breathing. These small adjustments aren't compromises, they're acts of resilience, reminding you that you're in control of how you move forward. Now take a moment to reflect. How do you usually respond when your routine gets disrupted? Do you let it derail your entire day, or do you see it as a chance to practice flexibility? The Stoics believed that true strength comes not from avoiding challenges, but from learning to navigate them with grace. Imagine approaching your mornings with this mindset, not as a rigid checklist, but as a flexible framework that allows room for imperfection. It's not about doing everything perfectly, it's about showing up no matter what and finding value in the effort. Here's a practical way to reframe setbacks. Instead of seeing a disrupted morning as a failure, view it as a lesson. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I adapt and still make progress? Maybe it's a reminder to set your alarm earlier, or to simplify your routine so it's easier to maintain. Or perhaps it's an opportunity to practice self-compassion, to remind yourself that you're human and that imperfection is part of the process. By embracing this mindset, you're not just building a better routine, you're building a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. The Stoics didn't strive for flawless days, they strived for meaningful ones. They understood that life is messy and that the real test of character is how we respond to the mess. So the next time your morning doesn't go as planned, remember, it's not about sticking to the script, it's about finding the strength to rewrite it, to adapt, and to keep moving forward. How will you embrace imperfection today? How can you turn a disrupted moment into an opportunity for growth? The answers to these questions don't just shape your mornings, they shape your life. When was the last time you truly connected with nature in the morning? For many of us, mornings are spent indoors, surrounded by screens and to-do lists. But the Stoics saw nature as more than just a backdrop. They saw it as a teacher, a source of wisdom, and a way to reconnect with what truly matters. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, wrote, "If you would be healthy, be in the open air as much as possible." Nature heals, nature soothes, nature strengthens. He wasn't just talking about physical health, he was pointing to the profound mental and emotional benefits of spending time outside. Nature, for the Stoics, was a reminder of the bigger picture, a way to step back from the noise of daily life and find clarity. So, how can you bring this ancient wisdom into your modern mornings? Start by making time to step outside, even if it's just for a few minutes. Whether it's a short walk around your neighborhood, a moment in your backyard, or simply sitting by an open window, these small acts of connection can have a big impact. Notice the way the air feels on your skin, the sounds of birds or rustling leaves, the way sunlight filters through the trees. These simple experiences can ground you, helping you start your day with a sense of calm and perspective. One practical way to incorporate nature into your routine is by taking your morning coffee or tea outside. Instead of sipping it in front of a screen, find a quiet spot where you can enjoy it in the open air. Or if you have a bit more time, consider starting your day with a mindful walk. It doesn't have to be long, even 10 minutes can make a difference. Use this time to clear your mind, to reflect on your intentions for the day, or simply to be present with the world around you. The key is to let nature do its work, to let it remind you of the beauty and simplicity that exists beyond the hustle and bustle of daily life. Now, take a moment to reflect. How does spending time in nature affect your mindset? Do you feel calmer, more focused, or more inspired? The Stoics believed that nature was a mirror, reflecting back to us the rhythms of life and the importance of balance. By bringing this practice into your mornings, you're not just adding another activity, you're creating a space for peace and clarity that can carry you through the rest of your day. Imagine starting each morning with this kind of connection, feeling grounded and ready to face whatever comes your way. It's a simple practice, but one that can transform not just your mornings, but your entire outlook on life. How would you live today if it were your last? It's a heavy question, but one the Stoics asked themselves regularly. They called this practice Memento Mori, literally, remember you must die. It wasn't meant to be morbid or fear-inducing. It was a tool to sharpen focus and clarify priorities. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." His words remind us that life is fleeting, and that awareness can be a powerful motivator to live with intention and purpose. So, how can you bring this practice into your morning routine? Start by taking a few moments to reflect on the impermanence of life. This doesn't mean dwelling on sadness or fear. It's about using the awareness of mortality as a lens to see what truly matters. Ask yourself, if today were my last, how would I spend it? What would I want to accomplish, and who would I want to connect with? These questions can help you cut through the noise of daily life and focus on what's truly important. One practical way to incorporate Memento Mori into your mornings is through journaling. Write down one thing you want to accomplish today, not because it's on your to-do list, but because it aligns with your values or brings you joy. Maybe it's spending quality time with a loved one, making progress on a meaningful project, or simply savoring the beauty of the present moment. By grounding your day in what truly matters, you're not just preparing for the hours ahead, you're shaping a life of purpose. Now take a moment to reflect. How would your priorities shift if you approached each day as if it were your last? Would you spend less time worrying about trivial things and more time on what brings you fulfillment? The Stoics believed that reflecting on mortality wasn't about fear, it was about freedom. It's a way to remind yourself that time is precious and that every moment is an opportunity to live fully and authentically. Imagine starting your day with this kind of clarity, knowing exactly what matters most and letting the rest fade into the background. That's the power of Memento Mori. It's not just a practice, it's a mindset that can transform how you live. How can ending your morning with gratitude shape your day? The Stoics understood that how you close a ritual is just as important as how you begin it. Gratitude wasn't just a fleeting emotion for them, it was a practice, a way to anchor themselves in the present and cultivate a sense of abundance. Seneca, one of the most eloquent Stoic philosophers, wrote, "A gift consists not in what is done or given, but in the intention of the giver or doer." What he's pointing to here is the profound power of perspective. When you take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for, you're not just acknowledging the good in your life, you're training your mind to see it, even in the midst of challenges. So, what does this look like in practice? As you wrap up your morning routine, take a few moments to pause and reflect. It doesn't have to be elaborate, just a simple mental list of 3 things you're grateful for. Maybe it's the warmth of the sun streaming through your window, the support of a loved one, or even the opportunity to tackle a new day. The key is to focus not just on the big, obvious blessings, but also on the small, often overlooked ones. By ending your morning with gratitude, you're setting a tone of appreciation and positivity that can carry you through the rest of your day. One practical way to do this is by pairing it with an existing habit. For example, if you have a morning cup of coffee or tea, use that time to think about what you're thankful for. Or if you journal, end your entry with a few lines of gratitude. These small acts of reflection can shift your mindset, helping you approach your day with a sense of abundance rather than lack. The Stoics believed that gratitude wasn't just about feeling good. It was about building resilience, reminding yourself of the resources and strength you already possess. Now take a moment to reflect. What's one thing you're grateful for today? It could be something as simple as the quiet of the morning or the chance to pursue a goal that matters to you. When we pause to appreciate these things, we start to see how much we already have, and that perspective can be incredibly grounding. Imagine ending your morning not with a sense of rushing or stress, but with a quiet moment of appreciation. How might that shift the way you approach the rest of your day? The Stoics believed that gratitude was a form of wisdom, a way to align ourselves with reality and find peace in the present moment. By weaving this practice into your mornings, you're not just closing a routine, you're opening yourself to a day filled with greater ease, joy, and purpose. As we wrap up this journey through Stoic-inspired mornings, let's take a moment to revisit the key principles we've explored. Reflection, presence, and resilience aren't just abstract ideas. They're tools for shaping how we live one morning at a time. By starting your day with intentional reflection, you create a space to align your actions with your values. By practicing presence, you anchor yourself in the here and now, free from distractions and worries. And by cultivating resilience, you prepare yourself to face challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. Together, these principles form the foundation of a morning routine that doesn't just set the tone for your day, it sets the tone for your life. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is the belief that every action, no matter how small, is a chance to live with purpose. When you begin your day with clarity and intention, you're not just going through the motions, you're actively shaping the kind of person you want to be. Whether it's through journaling, mindful breathing, or simply taking a moment to express gratitude, these practices remind us that the power to live well lies within us, not in our circumstances. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, put it this way: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. His words are a powerful reminder that excellence isn't about perfection or control. It's about showing up every day with purpose and integrity. It's about choosing to live in alignment with your values, even when the world feels chaotic. Now, I'd love to hear from you. How can you bring these Stoic practices into your own mornings? What small change could you make today to start your day with more intention and focus? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's inspire each other to live with greater purpose and presence. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more Stoic-inspired content to help you live a life of clarity, resilience, and meaning. Remember, every morning is a new beginning, a chance to take one more step toward the person you aspire to be. So, what will you do with yours?